Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Morning Podcast for April 22nd, 2025. I'm your host, Walter. We have a packed show for you today, with updates from around the world. First, in business news, Japanese insurer Nayib is planning to invest up to $5 billion to expand its operations in North America, aiming to double its operating profits in the region. Meanwhile, Nomura Holdings has acquired a stake in a U.S.-based asset management firm as part of its efforts to diversify its revenue streams. In international news, Harvard University has filed a lawsuit against former U.S. President Donald Trump over research funding cuts, sparking a debate about academic freedom and government support for scientific research. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida met with his Dutch counterpart to discuss cooperation on trade and security issues, including semiconductors and cybersecurity. In technology news, Google is facing a lawsuit over its use of artificial intelligence to extend its search monopoly, raising questions about AI ethics and transparency in the tech industry. And finally, the world is mourning the passing of Pope Francis, who died at the age of 90. The pontiff was known for his tireless advocacy for social justice and compassion, and his legacy will be remembered for generations to come. We'll be bringing you more updates and analysis on these stories throughout the day, so be sure to check back with us for the latest news and insights. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. And that's a wrap. I'm Walter, your host, saying goodbye for now. We'll see you again soon on the AI Daily Press. And remember, as we always say, the news you need when you need it. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, we're following developments in the case of Venezuelan migrants who were at risk of deportation under the Alien Enemies Act. The Supreme Court intervened, temporarily barring their removal, raising fundamental questions about executive power and due process. We'll continue to monitor this story as it unfolds. In other news, Pope Francis's passing has sparked a mix of emotions worldwide, particularly in Ukraine, where Catholics have expressed sorrow but also lingering hurt over his stance on the conflict with Russia. Many Ukrainians feel that the late pontiff's comments did not adequately condemn Russian aggression, and they're hoping for a more nuanced approach from the next pope. Lastly, we're tracking a story about El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele's announcement to deploy troops to combat gang violence. However, this story was not covered in our previous articles. Today on the AI Daily Press, we'll delve into these complex issues, providing balanced perspectives and updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, the Indian banking sector is seen as a relatively safe bet amidst global uncertainty and trade tariff concerns. The Nifty Bank Index is expected to continue its upward trajectory, driven by strong fundamentals and favorable macroeconomic conditions. Ramesh Mantri, Chief Investment Officer at White Oak Capital AMC, notes that the sector's ability to address asset quality concerns and benefit from rate cuts makes it an attractive bet for investors. In other news, Continuum Green Energy Limited has received approval from SEBI to raise Yog 4,500 crore through an initial public offering. The company plans to utilize the funds to repay loans and invest in new projects, further expanding its presence in the renewable energy sector. Lastly, the U.S. stock market took a hit as President Trump continues to lash out at Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted over 700 points, sparking concerns among investors and economists about the potential erosion of the Fed's independence. Krishna Guha, vice chairman of Evercore ESI, warns that if the president were to fire Chairman Powell, it would be a seismic event with significant consequences for the U.S. economy. That's all for now. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory has successfully launched the SPHEREX mission, which aims to study over 450 million galaxies and 100 million stars in the Milky Way. This groundbreaking project will help us better understand how the universe evolved and search for key ingredients for life in our galaxy. In another development, a team of scientists from Imperial College London has made significant progress in growing food from cells in space. Using precision fermentation, they've created a range of dishes that have been tested by astronauts, with promising results. This technology could revolutionize the way we feed astronauts on long-duration missions, and potentially pave the way for sustainable food production on other planets. Lastly, NASA's SPHEREX team has been celebrated at the New York Stock Exchange, marking a major milestone in the mission's development. The team's dedication and expertise are an inspiration to future generations of scientists, engineers, and explorers. That's all for today's summary. Tune in later for more in-depth coverage of these stories and other exciting developments in space exploration. Thank you for joining me on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, we've got a significant development in female athletics, as girls' flag football has been sanctioned in Washington, marking a major milestone for the sport. With growing support from organizations like the NFL and the Seahawks, this exciting addition to the world of sports is poised to make a lasting impact. Next up, we're counting down to the NFL Draft, which kicks off on Thursday, April 25th at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The New England Patriots are looking to make some key picks, including their 12th overall selection, and fans can expect some surprise moves as the team aims to bolster its roster. Lastly, we're highlighting an innovative approach taken by Boston Red Sox pitcher Walker Buehler, who opted to spend the night at a hotel to avoid Patriots' day traffic. This strategic decision proved effective, as he went on to deliver an impressive performance against the Chicago White Sox. These stories showcase the dedication, strategy, and excitement that define the world of sports. We'll continue to provide in-depth analysis and updates throughout the season. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. I'm Howard, your trusted source for sports news and analysis. Until next time, stay informed and keep up with the latest developments in the world of sports. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. I'm your host, Charles. We have a few stories to share with you today. Firstly, we reported on the sentencing of a high-profile case where justice has been served. This story highlights the importance of accountability and the rule of law in our society. In other news, we brought attention to a critical food safety issue affecting our community. A recall was issued due to contamination concerns, and we urge all listeners to check their pantries and refrigerators for the affected products. We appreciate the hard work of our farmers, ranchers, and food producers who strive to bring us safe and healthy food every day. Lastly, we took you on a journey to a hidden gem in Italy, the Parco Naturale Regionale di Genola e Monte di Scauri. This stunning natural reserve is steeped in history and culture, with ancient Roman ruins and breathtaking views of the coastline. We met local experts and guides who are passionate about sharing the park's secrets with visitors. These stories showcase the diversity of our coverage, from important community issues to unique travel destinations. As we always say, the road to happiness is paved with good intentions and a warm welcome from the people and places we encounter along the way. Thank you for joining us on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. We'll be back with more news and stories after this break. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. We've got some exciting news to kick off your day. First up, we're talking Oscars buzz. The Dave Clark Five's 1965 film, Catch Us If You Can is being re-examined as a pioneering work in the rock movie genre. This classic film, directed by John Boorman, presents a downbeat take on the entertainment industry and has had a lasting influence on many movies that follow. In other news, K-pop fans are rejoicing. Rose, from Blackpink, has broken a tie with BTS on the digital song sales chart with her hit single App, featuring Bruno Mars. The song has spent an impressive 25 weeks on the chart and is now the third longest charting track by a K-pop act. We'll be diving deeper into these stories throughout the day, but for now, that's a quick rundown of what's hot in entertainment. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we're looking at the fragile state of our planet's ecosystems, as highlighted in our recent article on the impact of human activities on the environment. The piece emphasizes the need for urgent action to protect our planet's delicate balance and preserve biodiversity. Next, we're focusing on the Gulf of Mexico, where the aftermath of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill continues to affect marine life and communities. Despite progress in restoration efforts, the region still faces significant challenges, including climate change and pollution. And finally, we have a remarkable story from the Bahamas, where two critically endangered North Atlantic right whales have been spotted swimming in the nation's waters. This extraordinary sighting has sent shockwaves throughout the scientific community and raises important questions about changing migration patterns and the impact of ocean warming on these majestic creatures. These stories serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of conservation efforts and the need for continued research into the behavior and habitat requirements of incredible species like the North Atlantic right whale. By supporting conservation initiatives, reducing our carbon footprint, and promoting sustainable practices, we can all play a role in ensuring the long-term survival of these magnificent animals and preserving the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems. That's all for today's podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Join us tomorrow for more stories that inspire, educate, and motivate us to take action in protecting our planet's precious biodiversity. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.